One of the most amazing things about birdsong is that you can infer all different sorts of meanings and messages buried within the music that you're hearing in real time. The same is true of human beatboxing. In essence, the human equivalent of bird calls, it reflects a lot of different musical and contextual and sonic cues that infuse themselves into a beatboxer's musical vocabulary. You can then infer from the beatboxer's style of an expression and different musical ideas where they come from, what language they speak, and the sounds that they hear in their day-to-day life if they choose to mimic them and then incorporate them into that vocabulary. What I have here is an array of 16 different local bird calls from the tri-state New York area, and I'm going to see how they combine with beatbox into a single musical idea. Let's have a listen. Wasn't that fun? So I want to tell you a little bit about the bird calls that you're hearing in this musical experiment. The first is the kick drum, and it's the wing beats of the ruffed grouse, which looks like a combination of a chicken and a pheasant. It lives in the undergrowth in a lot of deciduous and pine forests, and communicates with mates, potential mates, and potential rivals by beating its wings together like this. And that's really cool. So I've sampled one of those wing beats as our kick drum. The next is our little cymbal. That's the wood thrush. And then, of course, we have the American bittern, which is a species of heron that communicates by gulping in air and inflating an air sac on its chest, which it then uses to expel a sound very quickly, like this. Or sampled. The little bass line you heard, that's a duck. It's a gadwall. I'd never heard a duck that sounded like that before. We have the bell call of the blue jay, very common backyard species. Another backyard species, the mourning dove, and the northern cardinal. We had the last end of the conqueree sound, as birders call it, emitted by the red-winged blackbird, a classic marsh species. Then the eastern screech owl. We had our two bongo drums, the downy woodpecker and hairy woodpecker. Here's the downy. Here's the hairy. And those are the sounds they make when they rap on trees. They have these incredible bills that they use to communicate with each other as a territorial form of communication, or to attract mates, or to find food. The last song that we heard earlier was a Canada goose, if you can believe it. That's a territorial call that a male Canada goose sends to fend off other potential males that are trying to steal its territory. All of these sounds, again, are completely unaffected by any sort of digital effects. They sound exactly as they do in the wild. And all the beatboxing you're hearing is from my face, again, with no effects. My name's Ben, and I hope you enjoyed this first effort at the Birds and the Beats. It's a new idea that I'm exploring, and I'm going to keep posting videos here, so stay tuned. Let's end this with a jam.